Okay, here we have Professor William Sutton from the Southern California University for Daily Basket. And the first question is, the trade of James Harden has brought about controversial issues about the CBA and the salary cap rule that was actually meant to prevent what actually happened with the big market in Los Angeles laughing and the small market in Oklahoma City mourning. So what comes first? Is media exposure a condition for success, or is success a condition for media attention?
Interesting. I think both of those situations, it comes about as being sustainability. What can I do to keep my team competitive for the long term? What can I do to make sure that I have a sustainable franchise that doesn't have a lot of peaks and valleys, it just it reaches a peak and it stays steady, like the San Antonio Spurs. I think the San Antonio Spurs were an excellent example of a team that can manage the cap, be competitive every year, and yet are in a small market. Oklahoma City is modeling itself after San Antonio. Orlando now has also hired someone that's worked in both San Antonio and Oklahoma City. That's also going to be their model. So the San Antonio is an inspiration to smaller teams who find out they can be competitive in a smaller market if they are judicial in their use of their resources and make good decisions, and also scout not just locally but scout internationally. And that's a trademark of San Antonio.
And if we take a look at the Italian basketball geography, we see that almost all franchises are rooted in small towns, and with the exception of the capital cities in Spain, Russia, and Greece, the situation is not that different in the rest of Europe. Do you think that the European basketball movement should upgrade to a real continental championship, the NBA alike, or do you think that national championship can still be a resource for the market if properly enhanced? And if the latter, what do you advise?
I talked to my group today briefly about the concept of an NBA World Cup, where the NBA would be playing teams from all over the world in a World Cup franchise. I think that is a model that would be a real rejuvenation for basketball in Europe. I think it would be something that everybody could relate to because they would see basketball at the highest level. I think in Italy and in Greece and in Spain, the basketball leagues unfortunately are secondary because of the dominance of football. That's cultural. I mean, the football success, the football is a system that has the national televised games, the big international competitions, and so basketball and volleyball and other things are left to fall down a little bit. So just to move them into a bigger city itself wouldn't be enough. They would probably struggle and maybe be worse off in a larger city because they would be fighting even more passionate soccer fans. So the idea is that you have to build a base of fans. You have to start by reaching out to children.
From the ground up.
From the ground up, grassroots marketing, that the children become excited, the children follow the game, the children become fans, their parents become fans, and you start building up a base. Will it ever be as big as soccer? Probably not. In the U.S., the NFL is the biggest sport in the U.S. I don't see that changing. But on the other hand, soccer in the U.S. was not on the radar up until about 5 years ago. Now, soccer is really, you have a national television contract. There's a point where American athletes are playing and they're actually becoming better. So there's a credibility factor, and then they're getting teams from the EuroLeague coming over to play in exhibitions, and they're also attracting people like Beckham and other stars from Europe to come play in the American League. So all that is repositioning the American dream. So if Kobe Bryant was to retire at the Lakers and come play a couple years in Milan, it would have a dramatic effect on Italian basketball and international basketball.
As far as the Italian situation is concerned, do you think that the main issue could be that Italian Basketball Federation and team management fail to understand sport as industrial asset? And what should we learn from the overseas marketing strategies?
I think it's underappreciated, undervalued. I think they acknowledge it, but it's in a format where what complicates the system here is government funding. And there's been government grants to sports, and the interwoven of government doesn't happen in the U.S. So in the U.S., you're a business. And if you're successful, you're successful. If you're not successful. And so that connotates that we have to change the way we think. And we have to go approach a sponsor with the idea that it's good for their business, not, can I please have some money? So it's different, and we have to develop that mindset that we can show that we can drive traffic to the sponsor, that we can help improve their business. That's all got to be developed, and it's going to be a very slow process. But once it happens, if it happens the way I think it can happen, it will have a dramatic effect.
In 2003, Ray Allen wrote a letter to his new Seattle's fan to thank them for their warm welcome in spite of the trade of Gary Payton, that was a franchise player. During the summer, he went from Boston to Miami. After 10 years, do you think that it's still important to build a bridge between fans and players? And what changed in marketing in sports thanks to the social networks?
I think it's critical, even more critical now, to build a relationship between the players and the fans, because there's so many more entertainment options. There's so much competition for the fans' attention than there was in 2007. There's so many more things for me to do, so many things for me to stay connected. So building that bridge is essential. Ray Allen took out a full-page ad in the Boston Globe, thanking the Boston fans and wishing them well and thanking them for supporting them during his years. And went to Miami and said, I'm glad to be here, I'm excited, let's win another championship. So it depends on the player. I mean, Dwight Howard, the Dwight Howard experience leaving Orlando was fairly negative, but he meant a lot to the franchise, so it'll be interesting to see when he comes back with the Lakers, what happens, how that relationship goes, how that becomes. So that's going to be very interesting. We'll see how that goes. That could be very, very interesting. But social media, on the other hand, it's a very powerful tool, positively and negatively. If a player is upset and a player just throws out a tweet, it can be very negative, it can be very damaging, not only to the player, but to the team, other teams, the league. It can be very
J.R.
damaging.
Smith was fined last year, for example, for a tweet reporting, I think, a girl not too much dressed, let's say.
Yeah. So you have to understand that social media is a tool. It can be very, very helpful, but it has to be managed and it has to be strategic. And you also have to think before you use it.
Always in 2007 edition of your bestseller, Sport Marketing, looking ahead to the sport business odyssey in 2011, it was foretold a new era of media rights negotiation for game broadcasting involving all media platforms. History proved that right. Now, what if I tell you to describe me what the shape of things in 5 years will be?
5 years from things, we're going to see America a much bigger player on the soccer stage. It's going to become more important to Americans. In fact, with hockey staying out, soccer could surpass hockey in the United States. Soccer could become the third or fourth sport in the United States. And I see that definitely happening. I look at the changing demographics in the U.S., immigration, the number of Hispanic people, the love of the sport. It's only going to get better. And plus, it's an extremely well-managed league. MLS is extremely well-managed, good commissioner. They built soccer-only specific venue stadiums. It's really growing rapidly. It's done very, very well. So that's one thing. I think we're going to see more exportation of American brands abroad. So there'll be more NFL games, not only in England, maybe Ireland, maybe Italy, different places. But to me, that there'll never be an American football team in Europe because it's like it's going to the circus. You go one time, it's different, you see it, you like it, and that's enough. And then you go back and watch Inter Milan, Juventus, your traditional sports. So it's unique enough that it's an attraction. It's not worth. Probably doesn't have a lot of value to do it 8 to 10 times. It's not going to happen that way. You'll see more. You'll see some kind of formalized NBA presence in Europe on a regular basis. More regular season games, more postseason games. This World Cup of basketball, I think, will happen. It might take 4 or 5 years, but it will happen.
For clubs, you mean? A World League for clubs? Of all nations?
A World Cup equivalent of soccer for basketball.
Oh, great.
With the leading teams in Europe playing against the leading NBA teams. I see that happening. And the leading clubs in Asia, I see that happening and growing and well disseminating it. I see more on-demand television for Americans to be watching European events. Fox just signed in the U.S. a very big contract to broadcast English Premier League games. So the globalization of media is going to become a real reality in the U.S. U.S.
With the emerging markets, I think China, Far East,
Absolutely.
Brazil.
Very important. And so you're going to continue to grow your base.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.